Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, I was thinking about this on the drive-in today, just staring at the traffic, and it hit me.
Oh, yeah.
There is this very specific, very frustrating plateau in learning anything, but it feels particularly, I don't know, acute when you're learning a language. It's that moment where the excitement at the beginning just kind of fades and you're just stuck.
The infamous intermediate plateau. It is the place where dreams go to die, or at least to hibernate for a while.
Exactly. It's that moment where you stop translating every single word in your head.
Yeah.
You aren't doing the mental math of table equals mesa anymore. You know the words.
You got the basics down.
You got the basics. You can order a coffee without panicking. You can read a news article and get the general idea. But you still feel stiff.
Right.
You feel like you're playing a grand piano while wearing heavy wool mittens. You don't have the texture of the language yet. You don't have the soul of it.
That is such a perfect analogy, the mittens phase. I love that. Because you're hitting the right keys, the notes are technically correct, the melody is recognizable, but the music isn't flowing. It lacks nuance.
Yes, nuance, that's the word.
And usually that's because you're missing the connective tissue. You have the big nouns and the big verbs, but you lack the idioms, the phrasal verbs, the specific ways native speakers describe physical posture or emotional states. That is where the feel of English actually lives.
And that is exactly why I am genuinely excited about what we are doing today. We aren't just exploring some vague concept. We are, I think, conducting a masterclass.
I hope so.
We have a specific data set in front of us, Vocab Set 93 to be precise. And while that sounds incredibly dry, I've looked through it, and it is essentially the engine room of daily English conversation.
It really is. It's a list of 30 distinct items, but when you break them down, it's really more like 50 or 60 distinct concepts that govern how we interact.
Yeah, our mission today is not to just read a list. That would be boring for us and, frankly, useless for everyone listening.
Completely. We are going to unpack these. We're going to look at the psychology behind them, the common mistakes people make, the weird little grammatical quirks, and, why we say things the way we say them.
We're going to beat these words up a little bit, see what makes them tick.
We will interrogate them. Gently, of course.
Of course. So for you listening, this is a lean forward kind of deep dive. If you're on the treadmill, maybe slow it down a notch so you can focus. If you are driving, keep your eyes on the road, but open your ears wide. We're going to go through these methodically.
That's right. And we have a strict methodology for today to ensure we squeeze every drop of value out of this list.
Okay, lay it on us. What's the plan?
For every single item, we will start with a simple, calm definition, no jargon.
Good.
Then we'll look at 3 distinct usage examples to show the range of the phrase.
Okay, that's key. The range.
Exactly. After that, we will examine the word family. Is it a noun, a verb? What's the grammar doing? We'll cover synonyms, so you have alternatives. We'll look at collocations, the words that naturally sit next to the phrase. And finally, the opposite. To really know a word, you have to know what it isn't.
I love that. Defining by negation. It's a great way to lock a concept into your memory. It puts a border around the idea.
It does. All right, let's take a deep breath. We have 10 segments to get through, covering everything from body language to deep philosophical personality traits.
And we are starting with the physical self. This is segment 1, body language and physical positioning.
Let's dive in.
Item number 1. This is a classic movement, something we have all done since we were children. The phrase is on tiptoe.
On tiptoe. Okay. So functionally, let's start with that simple definition. This describes the physical act of standing or moving on the tips of your toes with your heels raised off the ground.
Right.
But linguistically, it's interesting because it's doing 2 very different jobs depending on the context.
Right, because you really only do this for 2 reasons. One is for height, and the other is for stealth.
Precisely. Let's look at the first scenario, height. Here is your first example sentence. She stood on tiptoe to reach the cookie jar on the top shelf.
A classic childhood maneuver.
A classic. In this context, the feeling is about extension. It's about stretching the body to its limit. Another example might be, I had to stand on tiptoe to see the parade over the crowd. Again, you are maximizing your vertical space.
Okay, but then you have the cartoon burglar scenario, the sneaking around.
Exactly. Scenario B, stealth. Example sentence number 3. The children walked on tiptoe so they wouldn't wake the sleeping baby.
I feel like I've done that a million times.
We all have. Here, the mechanics are the same. Heels up, but the intent is silence. You are minimizing the surface area of your foot hitting the floor to minimize noise.
Now, grammatically, this is interesting. We say on tiptoe. We don't usually say on the tiptoes or on my tiptoes in this specific phrase structure, do we?
No, you're right. It functions almost like a single adverbial phrase. You are on tiptoe.
But you can turn it into a verb.
You can, absolutely. You can say, I tiptoed into the room. That is very common and maybe even more common in everyday speech.
And there's a metaphorical layer here too, isn't there? I tiptoed around the issue. Ah, yes. Great point. If you are tiptoeing around a subject, you are being incredibly careful. You are avoiding the loud, crunchy parts of the conversation that might, wake up the conflict. It's all about diplomacy and avoidance.
That's a great image. Tiptoeing around a conversation to avoid waking up the angry baby. What about the collocations? What words stick to this?
The most common are walk on tiptoe or stand on tiptoe. Those are your anchors for the phrase.
And let's look at the opposite. If I am not on tiptoe, what am I?
Physically, you are flat-footed, which, by the way, is another idiom itself.
Right. If you are caught flat-footed, it means you weren't ready.
Exactly. You weren't poised on your toes, ready to move or react. You were stuck, planted.
Or if we're talking about sound and movement, the opposite of tiptoeing is just stomping. Yes, stomping is heavy, loud, and often angry or deliberate. Tiptoeing is light, quiet, and cautious. A world of difference.
Okay, keeping with the body. Item number 2. This is a posture that signals a lot about how a person is feeling. The phrase is, got her legs crossed.
Got her legs crossed, or he's got his legs crossed. Let's define it simply. This refers to the posture where one leg is placed over the other while sitting.
I have a question about the grammar here, and I think it's a really subtle but important one. Why the got? Why not just say she crossed her legs?
That is a great nuance to pick up on. She crossed her legs is the action. It is the movement of lifting the leg and placing it over the other. It's what happened in a moment.
It's a verb.
It's a verb. She has got her legs crossed. Describes the state of being. It paints the picture of the person already sitting there. It feels a bit more permanent, a bit more descriptive of the vibe in the room.
And vibe changes hugely depending on the context, doesn't it?
Huge changes. Let's look at the examples. Example 1. She sat at the dinner table politely with her legs crossed.
Okay, I'm picturing a formal setting.
Exactly. There, it's about containment, it's neat, it's proper, it takes up less space.
Versus this example. He was relaxing on the sofa, got his legs crossed, reading a book.
Right. There, it might be the ankle on knee cross. It is open, it is expansive. It says, I am comfortable and I am not going anywhere. It's a very different signal.
And then you have the yoga context. Example 3. In yoga, you often sit on the floor with your legs crossed. That's the pretzel fold.
We sometimes call that sitting cross-legged, which is a very common alternative. So the word family here centers on the verb to cross. You cross them, the action, and then they are crossed, the adjective or state of being.
So what is the opposite? Is it just legs uncrossed?
Technically, yes. Uncrossed is the neutral opposite. But in a casual, maybe slightly ruder context, you might hear the term manspreading.
Right. The scourge of public transport everywhere.
Exactly. Legs crossed is about minimizing space or creating a comfortable barrier. Legs apart or manspreading is about claiming territory. They are complete opposites in social signaling.
Item number 3. This one bridges the gap between two people, hand in hand.
Hand in hand. This is a beautiful phrase because it works so hard for us in English. It does double duty.
Double duty.
Yes. Literally, the definition is just holding each other's hands. But the nuance shifts completely based on who is holding hands and why.
Okay, give us the breakdown.
All right, scene 1, romance. Example sentence, the old couple walked hand in hand through the park.
Okay, that signals intimacy, affection, being a single unit.
Perfectly put. Now, scene 2, parenting.
Right.
Example sentence. The mother and child cross the street hand in hand. This isn't just affection, this is safety. This is a physical tether preventing the child from running into traffic. The meaning is totally different.
And then we leave the physical world entirely for the metaphorical usage, which I think is where learners really get value.
We do. We go to the abstract. Example sentence. Unfortunately, poverty and crime often go hand in hand.
That is a very common structure in news reports and essays. X and Y go hand in hand.
It means they are inextricably linked. You rarely find one without the other. They are walking together through the data, so to speak.
Walking together through the data. I like that. So what are the synonyms here for that metaphorical use?
Together, jointly, or side by side. You could say poverty and crime are closely linked.
But hand in hand is more poetic.
Much more. And for the opposite.
It would have to be separately, individually.
Exactly. Or if we were talking about the correlation metaphor, unrelated. If two things do not go hand in hand, they have no correlation. They are distinct phenomena.
Moving on to segment 2, clothing and states of disarray. This touches on how we manage the objects around us, specifically our clothes. Item number 4 is a phrasal verb that I feel is very British but widely understood.
Doing up.
Doing up. Oh, this is a workhorse in the UK and Australia for sure. But Americans use it too, maybe in more specific contexts. It basically means fastening, but it feels more active, like it involves a process.
It implies a little bit of complexity, right? You don't just close a shoelace. No, because a shoelace involves a knot, a series of actions. So example 1, please wait, I'm doing up my shoelaces. It implies you're stopping to perform a task that takes a moment.
Okay.
Example 2, can you help me? I can't do up the zipper on this dress.
Right, another multi-step, sometimes tricky action. And then we have the larger scale, which is almost exclusively British and Commonwealth, I think. The one for buildings.
Yes. Example 3, they bought an old cottage and are spending the summer doing it up.
I love that usage. It's so cozy. Doing up a house.
It sounds much gentler than renovating, doesn't it? Renovating sounds like dust and contractors and money. Doing up sounds like painting, fixing old handles, polishing wood. It implies personal care and attention.
So the word family here is a phrasal verb based on do. Pretty simple.
Correct. And the synonyms depend on the scale. For clothes, the synonyms are fasten, zip, button, tie. For houses, it's renovate, refurbish, or maybe the more American fix up.
And the opposite is simple too.
Just undoing. You undo a button, you undo a knot, you undo your laces, or unzipping.
All right, item number 5. Another household action, but one with a technological ghost in the machine. Hanging up.
Hanging up. This is fascinating because it's what you might call a fossil phrase.
A fossil phrase.
Yeah. Its meaning is preserved from a technology that doesn't really exist anymore. Literally, the definition is to place clothes on a hook or hanger. Gravity is doing the work.
Let's look at the literal examples first.
Okay, example 1. Please make sure you are hanging up your coat when you come inside.
A parent's eternal plea.
And example 2. She is in the garden hanging up the wet laundry to dry. Both very straightforward.
But then we use it for phones. And this is the fossil part.
This is the fossil part. Example 3, I was so angry I ended up hanging up on him. Now think about that. For the last, 15, 20 years, ending a call means tapping a flat glass screen. There is no hanging involved at all.
It comes from the old wall phones with the receiver you had to physically hang on a hook.
Exactly. Wall phones and cradles. You physically had to lift the receiver and hang it back onto the switch hook to break the circuit. We still say dialing a number too, even though there are no dials.
Language moves slower than technology.
Much slower. It is stubborn. It holds on to its memories.
Prepositions are tricky here, I think.
Very. You hang up on someone. That's the aggressive act of ending the call. But you hang clothes in the closet or on a hook. Very different.
And the opposite.
For clothes, taking down. For the phone, picking up or answering.
Okay, item 6. A visual we've all been the victim of probably this morning. Inside out.
Inside out. Definition. When the inner surface of an item is turned outward, you can see the seams, the washing tags, the messy stitching.
It is almost always an accident, isn't it?
Yeah.
A sign of being in a rush.
Almost always. Example 1. I was so tired this morning I put my t-shirt on inside out. It is the universal symbol of a bad morning.
But we do use it for searching, too.
Yes, that's a deliberate action. Example 2. To find his keys, he turned his pockets inside out. You are exposing the hidden interior to find something lost.
And then the weather example, which is a classic painful image.
Example 3. The wind was so strong it blew my umbrella inside out. That is such a visceral image. The structure failing, the metal screaming and inverting.
Is there a synonym for this?
Inverted is the technical term. But you would never say, my shirt is inverted. You would sound like a robot.
Human, your garment is inverted.
Exactly. Stick to inside out. The semantic field here is orientation or maybe clothing mistakes.
And the opposite.
Simple enough. Right side out. Or simply the correct way.
Item 7 is similar, but geometrically different. Back to front.
Back to front. Yes, this is strictly about orientation along a different axis. It means wearing something with the back part on the front.
So the tag is scratching your throat all day.
That horrible itchy feeling. Example 1. The toddler dressed himself, but his pants were back to front. A common sight.
Or it can be a style choice, which is interesting.
Yes, very true. Example 2. He wears his baseball cap back to front to look cool. A whole different vibe.
Now, can we use this metaphorically, like you've got this argument back to front?
Yes, that is an excellent and very common usage.
Yeah.
Example 3. You've got this logic, back to front. It means you are confusing cause and effect. You're putting the cart before the horse.
Synonyms for that.
Just backwards. You've got it backwards.
And the opposite is the right way around.
From front to back, but usually we just say the right way.
All right, strap in. We are moving to segment 3, accidents and impacts. This is where learners get tripped up, pun intended.
This is a minefield. The differences are subtle, but absolutely crucial for sounding natural.
We have a cluster of 5 verbs here. Fallen over, tripped up, knocked over, knocked out, and knocked down. Okay, that's a perfect framework. Let's break them down one by one.
First up, fallen over.
Fallen over. The simple definition. To lose your balance and collapse to the ground. The key here is that it is usually independent. You lost your balance. It's about an internal loss of equilibrium.
So the blame is on me or maybe just gravity.
Exactly. Example 1. He slipped on the ice and has fallen over. The ice caused the slip, but the fall was his own. Example 2. The baby is learning to walk and has fallen over 3 times. No external force, just wobbly legs. And example 3, for an object, the old tree has fallen over in the wind. The wind pushed, but the final action was the tree's own structural failure.
And the opposite is simple. Stood up.
Correct.
Okay, second one. Tripped up. How is this different?
Tripped up. Definition. To catch your foot on something and stumble or fall. The key difference is an obstacle is involved. Something actively got in your way.
So here, there's an external object to blame. The cable, the stair.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Example 1. I tripped up over a loose cable on the floor. You can point at the cable and say it's your fault.
Right.
Example 2. She tripped up on the stairs. The stair was uneven or she misjudged it. And then the metaphorical use is very powerful. Example 3. The difficult question tripped him up during the interview.
Ah, so it was an obstacle for his thinking. It made him stumble in his logic.
Exactly. And the opposite would be something like walked steadily or navigated successfully.
Okay, number 3.
Knocked over.
Knocked over.
Yeah.
Definition. To push a person or object so that it falls from a vertical to a horizontal position. This implies an external force from an agent, a person, an animal, a thing, but usually not a destructive one.
So it's more of a push than a collision.
A good way to put it. Example 1. The cat knocked over the vase. A classic. Example 2.
Yeah.
I accidentally knocked over my coffee cup. My arm was the external force. Example 3. The cyclist was knocked over by the dog running into the street.
Okay, I'm seeing the pattern. The opposite would be set upright or stabilized.
Yes.
4th in the list. Knocked out. This one feels more serious. Knocked out. This is about consciousness. It means to make someone unconscious, or in a different context, to eliminate them from a competition.
2 very different meanings.
Very. Context is everything. Example 1, the literal one. The boxer was knocked out in the first round. He's unconscious.
Right.
Example 2, a more metaphorical but still physical meaning. The medicine knocked me out for 10 hours. It shut your consciousness down. And example 3, the competition meaning, our team was knocked out of the tournament.
Eliminated.
Okay.
Okay. And the opposite would be revived or woken up for the first and qualified for the second.
Perfect.
And finally, knocked down. This sounds the most violent.
Knocked down, it usually is. Definition. To strike someone to the ground, usually with a vehicle, or to demolish a building. It implies great force and flattening. It's a much bigger event than just being walked over. Example 1. The old library was knocked down to build a parking lot. Total demolition. Example 2. He was knocked down by a car while crossing the street. A serious collision. Example 3. The strong wind knocked down the fence. The force was enough to break it.
And the opposite here is clearly built up or constructed.
Yes.
That is a masterclass in nuance right there. The difference between falling, tripping, and being knocked is all about who or what is responsible for the action.
Exactly. Who is to blame? Is it gravity, a cable, or a car? The verb you choose tells the whole story.
Let's move to softer topics, I think. Segment 4, family traits and upbringing. This is about where we come from. Item 9, take after speak.
Take after somebody. A lovely phrasal verb. The definition is to resemble a parent or close relative in appearance, character, or behavior. This is the nature side of the nature versus nurture debate.
It feels genetic, doesn't it? Like it was preloaded in the software before you were born.
It does. It implies something inherited, not learned. Example 1. Everyone says I take after my father because we both love jazz. That's a shared trait. a character thing.
Okay.
Example 2. She takes after her grandmother. They both have the same blue eyes. That's purely physical resemblance. And example 3, you can use it in the negative. He doesn't take after either parent. He is very unique.
And what are the synonyms here? Resemble.
Resemble, look like, or be similar to, but take after feels warmer, more personal.
And the opposite.
To be nothing like, or a more formal to differ from.
Item 10 is the other side of that coin, the nurture side. Bring spay up or bring speep up to do stuff.
Bring somebody up. Exactly. The definition. The process of raising a child, caring for them, and teaching them values until they are adults. This is the active work of parenting. It's the environment and the teaching.
Okay, so an example might be she was brought up in a small fishing village.
That speaks to the environment. Absolutely. Example 2 is about values. His parents brought him up to be polite and respectful. And example 3 speaks to the effort involved. It is difficult to bring up 3 children on a low income.
And this gives us a great noun, doesn't it? Upbringing.
Yes, the noun is upbringing. You can have a strict upbringing or a happy upbringing. It's a very useful word.
Synonyms for the verb.
Raise is the most common synonym. Also rear, though that can sound a little bit old-fashioned or even like you're talking about animals. Nurture is another good one.
And the opposite would be quite dark.
It would. Neglect or abandon.
Item 11 is about respect and admiration. Look up to spay.
Look up to somebody. The definition is to admire and respect someone, often viewing them as a role model. It uses a very clear vertical metaphor. You physically look up at someone taller, so you metaphorically place them above you in a scheme.
I like that visual. Can you give us some examples?
Sure. Example 1, I have always looked up to my older sister.
Very common.
Example 2, young players look up to the team captain. And example 3, a bit more societal. We need leaders that the public can look up to.
And synonyms here would be words like admire.
Admire, idolize, respect, revere. Idolize is maybe a step stronger, more intense.
And the opposite is also very visual and quite nasty.
Yes, the opposite is look down on, which means to think you are better than someone, to be condescending. It is arrogant and dismissive.
Item 12 connects to career, usually. Follow in Subit's footsteps.
Follow in somebody's footsteps, the definition. To do the same work or lead the same lifestyle as someone before you, usually a parent or mentor.
I always picture walking in the snow behind someone. They've made a path for you.
That's the exact image. The person ahead has packed the snow down, making it easier for you to walk. Example 1. She decided to follow in her mother's footsteps and become a surgeon.
A classic family profession.
Example 2. He is following in his father's footsteps by joining the military. And you can also use it to express independence, like in example 3. I want to carve my own path, not just follow in their footsteps.
The semantic field is clearly legacy or career path.
Exactly. And the opposite would be to blaze a new trail or to go one's own way.
Item 13 is the deepest one in this section, I think. Very powerful.
Yeah.
In your blood.
In your blood. Oh yeah, this is fundamental, the definition. An innate, strong interest or talent that seems to be shared by a whole family or is just a deep, unshakable part of your nature.
It connects back to take after, but it's so much stronger. It feels elemental.
It is. It's not just a preference, it's a calling. Example 1. He can't stop painting. Art is in his blood.
It's a compulsion almost.
Yes. Example 2. Coming from a long line of farmers, working the land is in their blood. And example 3, she loves the ocean. Sailing is in her blood. It suggests it's something you couldn't escape even if you wanted to.
So the synonyms would be words like innate, hereditary.
Innate, hereditary, natural, inherent, all good choices.
The opposite.
A learned behavior, or something being completely alien to you. If music is in my blood, then maybe complex mathematics is alien to my nature.
Excellent. Let's move to segment 5. Life experience and mastery. We are talking about how we live and what we know. Item 14, the way of life.
A way of life. The definition here is the typical habits, customs, and behaviors of a person or a culture. It is much more than a routine. It is an entire existence.
Okay, give us the examples for that.
Example 1. For them, getting up at 4 a.m. to milk the cows is just a way of life. It's not a chore. It dictates their entire schedule and worldview.
Right.
Example 2. In this city, coffee culture is a way of life. It's about social interaction, business meetings, the rhythm of the day. And example 3. The internet has changed our way of life completely.
That's an understatement. And the synonyms.
Lifestyle, culture, existence. Customs is a bit more specific, but it fits.
Opposite. What would be the opposite of a way of life?
I'd say an exception, or a phase. A phase passes and is temporary. A way of life remains and is stable.
Good distinction. Item 15 pairs well with mastery. No sleuth, inside out.
Know something inside out. The definition. To know a subject or a place extremely well, completely and thoroughly.
We mentioned inside out earlier with clothing mistakes.
Yes, and here the metaphor is that you know it so well. You know the inner workings, the seams, the hidden parts that nobody else sees.
Okay.
Example 1. He has lived here for 40 years. He knows the city streets inside out. He knows the shortcuts, the history, everything. Example 2. You need to study until you know this textbook inside out. And example 3, a great one for expertise. She knows the software inside out because she wrote the code.
Can't know it better than that. So what are the synonyms?
To master something. Or the other great idiom, to know something like the back of your hand.
And the opposite of that.
To have a superficial knowledge of something. Or to just be completely clueless about it.
Item 16 is about teaching that mastery to someone else. Shows of ropes.
Show somebody the ropes, the definition. To teach someone how to do a specific job or task, usually when they're a beginner.
This has a nautical origin, doesn't it? From old sailing ships.
It does. On a tall ship, there were miles of rigging all the ropes. If you pulled the wrong rope, the sail could fall down or the boom could swing and hit you. Showing the ropes was literally teaching a new sailor which rope did what to keep them safe and make the ship work.
And now we just use it for office jobs.
Exactly. It's any kind of job onboarding. Example 1, it's my first day, so Sarah is showing me the ropes. Example 2, I spent the morning showing the intern the ropes. And example 3, don't worry, you'll learn fast once someone shows you the ropes.
So the synonyms are pretty straightforward.
Yes. Train, guide, instruct, mentor.
And what's the opposite? What happens if no one shows you the ropes?
Then you get thrown in the deep end. Another great idiom, meaning you're left to figure it out all by yourself, probably by struggling.
Let's move to segment 6. Perspective and consequences.
Sure.
How we see the world and what happens when we act. Item 17. Point of view.
Point of view. The definition. An opinion, attitude, or way of looking at a situation.
This can be literal, like my physical point of view from this chair, or figurative.
Mostly figurative in conversation. Example 1. From my point of view, this is a bad investment. That is a pure statement of opinion.
Okay.
Example 2. Try to understand the customer's point of view. That is about empathy, seeing the world through someone else's eyes. And example 3 from literature. The novel is written from the point of view of a child.
So synonyms would include perspective.
Perspective, standpoint, opinion, angle.
And collocations. We often hear it paired with certain adjectives.
Yes, you often hear a valid point of view or a biased point of view.
And the opposite. What's the opposite of a point of view?
In some contexts, it's objectivity or simply fact. A point of view is subjective by its very nature.
Item 18. Give birth.
To zib. Give birth. The definition is the physical act of having a baby. But metaphorically, it can also mean creating a new idea or a new movement.
Can you give us the usage examples?
Of course. Example 1, the literal. She gave birth to healthy twins yesterday. Example 2, the hospital where she gave birth is excellent. And example 3, the metaphorical one. That meeting gave birth to a revolutionary new product. An idea was born.
The preposition is key here, I think.
Yes, it is always give birth to. You don't give birth of. That's a common mistake.
And synonyms.
Deliver a baby, bear a child, or more abstractly, to produce an idea.
And the opposite.
In the broader context of the life cycle, the opposite would be to pass away or to die.
Item 19 feels a bit ominous. Let yourself in for sleuth.
Let yourself in for something. It often is ominous. The definition is to involve yourself in a difficult or unpleasant situation, often without realizing how hard it will be.
It implies you walked into a trap that you accidentally set for yourself.
That's a perfect way of putting it. Example 1. When I agreed to organize the party, I didn't know what I was letting myself in for.
Meaning, I didn't realize the enormous amount of work involved.
Precisely. Example 2. If you argue with him, you are letting yourself in for a lot of trouble. It's a warning. And example 3. Be careful what you sign. Don't let yourself in for unexpected debt.
The semantic field is really about consequences, or volition.
Yes. And synonyms would be to sign up for something difficult, or to invite trouble.
And the opposite is clear.
Avoid, steer clear of, or dodge.
Item 20 is about comparison. Nothing like spists, or not anything like spists.
Nothing like, a very strong phrase. The definition is emphasizing a total and complete lack of similarity between two things or people.
It's much stronger than just saying different.
Much stronger. It implies they belong to different species almost. Example 1. The movie was nothing like the book. They changed the ending completely. A common complaint.
Very common complaint.
Example 2. She is nothing like her sister. They're total opposites. And example 3. This new car is nothing like the old model. It's much faster.
Synonyms.
Completely different, distinct, unrelated.
And the opposite would be?
Identical, the spitting image of someone, or simply exactly like.
Okay, segment 7. Conflict and emotion. Things are getting a little more heated now. Item 21. Get your own back. On spit.
Get your own back. A great one. Definition. To take revenge or retaliate against someone who has wronged you. This is very common in British English, a little less so in American English, but widely understood.
It sounds almost fair, getting my own back, like you're just retrieving something that was taken from you.
It definitely feels like justice to the person doing it. Example 1. He wanted to get his own back on the school bully.
A noble cause.
Perhaps. Example 2. She played a prank on me, but I'll get my own back soon. That's more playful. And example 3 is a piece of advice. Stop trying to get your own back and just move on.
The prepositions are important.
Yes, you get your own back on someone. Or sometimes you hear, get back at someone.
Synonyms.
Retaliate, take revenge, get even.
And the opposite, the more enlightened path.
To forgive, to pardon, or the biblical turn the other cheek.
Item 22 involves an emotional explosion. Burst into tears.
Burst into tears, the definition. To suddenly and unexpectedly start crying heavily.
The word burst is the key. It's not a slow welling up of emotion.
No, it implies a sudden pressure release, a dam breaking. It's explosive. Example 1. When she heard the bad news, she burst into tears. Example 2. The frustrated toddler burst into tears in the supermarket, a sound we all know. And example 3 shows it's not always sad. To everyone's surprise, the winner burst into tears of joy.
And we use burst for other things too, right?
I do. The collocations are interesting. You can also burst into laughter or burst into song. It's always a sudden, powerful release of expression.
And the opposite.
To hold back tears, to suppress emotion, or the classic British idiom to keep a stiff upper lip.
Item 23 changes the pace a little bit. Grow into soothe.
Grow into something, the definition. To become big enough to fit clothes that were previously too large, or to become mature and skilled enough for a role that was initially too big for you.
So it's literal for clothes and figurative for life.
Precisely. Example 1, the literal. Don't worry that the shoes are big. The child will grow into them. Every parent has said this.
Of course.
Example 2, the figurative. She was nervous at first, but she is really growing into her role as manager. She's becoming more comfortable and capable. And example 3, he needs time to grow into the responsibilities of fatherhood.
Synonyms here.
To develop into, to mature into, or to fill out, which can be both literal and figurative.
And the opposite is a phrase we all know.
Yes, grow out of, which means getting too big for something, whether it's a piece of clothing or a childish hobby.
Item 24 is a childhood classic. Get into trouble for sleuth.
Get into trouble. The definition. To be reprimanded, punished, or face bad consequences for an action.
We never really stop getting into trouble, do we?
No, the consequences just get more serious. The scale changes. Example 1 from childhood. I used to get into trouble for talking in class. Example 2, adulthood. If you don't pay your taxes, you will get into trouble with the government. And example 3, the workplace. He got into trouble for arriving late to the meeting.
And the collocations here can raise the stakes.
Yes, you can be in deep trouble, serious trouble, or legal trouble.
And the opposite.
To be rewarded, to be praised, or my favorite, to get off scot-free, meaning to escape without any punishment at all.
Item 25 is about avoiding conflict by choosing not to see. Turn a blind eye to swift.
Turn a blind eye. The definition. To deliberately ignore something bad, illegal, or incorrect. To pretend not to see it.
This implies a conscious choice. You see it, but you act like you don't. Is this the Admiral Nelson story?
It is. At the Battle of Copenhagen, he was signaled by his superior to stop fighting. He held the telescope up to his blind eye and famously said, "I really do not see the signal," and he kept fighting and won.
That is legendary willful ignorance.
It is. So, example 1. The teacher knew they were passing notes, but decided to turn a blind eye. A small act of mercy, perhaps. Example 2, more serious. We cannot turn a blind eye to corruption in the company. A call to action. And example 3, he turned a blind eye to his friend's bad behavior.
So the synonyms are ignore, Overlook.
Ignore, overlook, disregard.
And the opposite.
To scrutinize, to pay close attention, or to crack down on the problem.
Okay, let's head into segment 8. Maturity and social behaviors. Item 26. Grow up.
Grow up, a very common one. The definition is twofold. It's the process of becoming an adult, physically and mentally, but it can also be a command, telling someone to stop acting childishly.
And that command stings when someone says, oh, grow up.
It does. It's a sharp criticism. Example 1, the process. I watch the neighbor's kids grow up from babies to teenagers. Example 2, the command. He needs to grow up and take responsibility for his actions. And example 3, a question about your past. Where did you grow up? Asking about your childhood location.
And the word family is useful.
Yes. Grown up is a noun meaning an adult, or an adjective like a grown-up conversation.
Synonyms.
Mature, age, develop.
And the opposite.
To remain childish or to regress.
Item 27 is another cluster. The stay verbs, stay out, stay in, and stay up.
Let's separate these. They are all about your location and your state of sleep, but they mean very different things.
Okay, first, stay out.
Stay out, the definition. To remain away from your home, usually late into the night.
I'm picturing a teenager trying to break curfew.
That's the classic scenario. Example 1, I told my son not to stay out past midnight. Example 2, we stayed out all night dancing. And example 3, for animals. The cat likes to stay out when it's warm.
The opposite is simple. Come home or return.
Exactly.
Second, stay in.
Stay in, the definition. To remain inside your home, to choose not to go out socially. It's the opposite of having a night on the town.
A cozy night.
A very cozy night. Example 1, it's raining, so let's just stay in and watch a movie. Example 2, I'm tired of partying. I'm going to stay in tonight. And example 3, everyone had to stay in during the storm.
The opposite is obviously go out.
Yes.
And third, stay up.
Stay up. This one is about sleep, not location, definition. To remain awake, to not go to bed.
So you can stay in but not stay up.
You certainly can. Example 1, I had to stay up all night to finish my essay. The students lament. Example 2, the kids asked to stay up late to watch the fireworks. And example 3, don't stay up waiting for me.
And the opposite is go to bed or maybe turn in.
Perfect.
Very clear distinctions. Okay, item 28. Go on about speak.
Go on about the definition. To talk repeatedly, continuously, or for a long time about a topic, often to the annoyance of the listener.
This is the rambling friend who won't change the subject.
Yes. This is not a complimentary phrase. Example 1, he went on about his new electric car for 3 hours. Example 2, a plea. Please don't go on with the mess. I will clean it up. And example 3, she goes on and on about her grandchildren.
So the synonyms are things like ramble, drone on.
Ramble, drone on, harp on, all suggest tedious, repetitive talking.
And the opposite.
To be concise, to summarize, or if you're feeling rude, to shut up.
Okay, segment 9. Blame, solitude, and awareness. Almost there. Item 29. Be to blame for sloth or be at fault.
Be to blame and be at fault. They're very close in meaning. The definition is being responsible for something bad or incorrect happening.
It's about accepting liability or assigning it.
Exactly. Example 1, the icy road was to blame for the accident. Here, we're blaming an inanimate thing. Example 2, he admitted he was at fault for the misunderstanding. That's taking personal responsibility. And example 3, don't ask who is to blame, just fix the problem. A very pragmatic approach.
And the synonyms here?
Responsible, guilty, liable. Innocent, blameless, or in the clear.
Item 30. Leave some alone.
Leave somebody alone. The definition is to stop annoying someone or to simply exit their presence so they can have some solitude.
It can be an angry command or a peaceful request.
The tone of voice is everything. Example 1, the peaceful version. He is studying, so please leave him alone. Example 2, the angry warning. I'm warning you, leave me alone. And example 3, for objects or animals. It's best to leave the stray dog alone. Don't interfere.
Synonyms for that.
Stop bothering. Withdraw. Let be.
And the opposite is to bother, pester, or accompany someone.
Correct.
Item 31. Be out of touch with sleuth.
Be out of touch. This is about being disconnected, the definition, not knowing the latest news, trends, or information, or, on a deeper level, having no contact with reality or the feelings of ordinary people.
A common accusation against politicians.
Very common. Example 1, he is out of touch with modern pop music. A simple cultural disconnect. Example 2, the political one. The politicians are completely out of touch with the voters. And example 3, I've been living abroad, so I'm out of touch with my old friends. A loss of personal connection.
So synonyms would be disconnected, unaware,
Disconnected, unaware, old-fashioned, sometimes even ignorant.
and the opposite.
To be in the loop, up to date, or connected.
And finally, our last section, segment 10, personality and comfort, the home stretch, item 32. When it comes to sloth doing sloth.
When it comes to, this is a great framing device, the definition. A phrase used to introduce a specific topic you are about to discuss or offer an opinion on. It functions as a bridge or a spotlight.
It narrows the focus of the conversation. It sets the stage.
Perfectly put. Example 1. When it comes to cooking, my brother is the expert. We are now only talking about cooking. Example 2. She is very lazy when it comes to cleaning her room. And example 3. We have different opinions when it comes to politics.
The synonyms are more formal, I think.
They are. Regarding concerning, in terms of with respect to, when it comes to is much more conversational.
And a usage note.
It's almost always a transition phrase used to pivot the conversation to a new specific subtopic.
Item 33. Be set in your ways.
Be set in your ways, the definition. To be unwilling to change your habits, behaviors, or opinions. This is often, though not exclusively, said of older people.
The concrete is hardened, so to speak.
Exactly. The patterns are fixed. Example 1. My grandfather eats the same breakfast every day. He is very set in his ways. Example 2. It is hard to learn new technology when you are set in your ways. And example 3, a piece of advice. Don't get too set in your ways while you are still young.
And the synonyms for this are words like inflexible,
Inflexible, rigid, stubborn, habitual.
with the opposite being adaptable.
Adaptable, flexible, and open-minded.
Item 34 is a much nicer feeling. Feel be at ease with speak.
Be at ease, a lovely state of being. The definition is feeling relaxed, comfortable, and confident without anxiety.
It's a feeling of safety and belonging.
It is. Example 1. She felt completely at ease in her new job from the very first day. Example 2. The doctor's friendly joke put the nervous patient at ease. And example 3. He is not at ease with strangers. He is quite shy.
So the synonyms are relaxed, comfortable,
Relaxed, comfortable, secure, unworried.
and the opposite is a state we all know too well.
Unfortunately, yes. Anxious, on edge, awkward, or tense.
And our final item, number 35, maybe the most important piece of advice here. Be yourself.
Be yourself, the definition. To act naturally according to your own character without trying to impress others or be fake.
It's the ultimate advice before a job interview or a first date.
It is, and it's often the hardest to follow. Example 1. Don't try to act cool, just be yourself. Example 2. It is hard to be yourself when you feel like everyone is watching and judging you. Example 3. The great thing about him is that he is always himself, no matter who he is talking to.
The semantic feel here is authenticity, right?
Authenticity or identity? Absolutely.
And the synonyms,
To be natural, to be authentic, to be genuine.
with the opposite being to put on a front, to fake it, or to pretend. Wow, we did it. That was 30 lines, well, actually 35 items if you count all the variations,
Yep.
of pure, unadulterated English nuance.
It really is a journey when you lay it all out like that. Think about where we started. We started with on tiptoe, a tiny, specific physical adjustment of the feet.
Right.
And we ended with being yourself, a huge, sprawling, philosophical concept of identity and authenticity.
It's true. We covered posture, clothing, accidents, raising kids, fighting, aging, and finding peace. The whole human experience is in there.
That's because vocabulary is life. These phrases aren't just random sounds, they are the map of human experience. Every single phrase is a little capsule of human behavior.
And what stands out to me is how incredibly specific English can be. The difference between tripped up and fallen over tells you a complete story about gravity versus obstacles. The difference between staying out and staying up tells you a story about a person's lifestyle and choices.
That specificity is where the mastery lies. It's getting beyond the mittens and actually feeling the keys.
Before we go, I wanted to pose a question to our listener, something that came up for me during that maturity segment.
Go on.
We discussed growing up, and we discussed being set in your ways. And it makes me wonder, at what point does growing up stop being about maturity and start becoming set in your ways?
Oh, that's a good one.
Is it possible to stay young, in a sense, by never getting set?
That is a fascinating thought. Perhaps staying young isn't about your physical age at all, but about maintaining the flexibility to learn, to change your mind. It's about maintaining the inside-out knowledge that the world can still surprise you.
So the moment you think you know everything.
The moment you think you know it all, you are set. You've stopped growing.
A thought to take with you. Listeners, your homework is simple. Pick one of these phrases, just one, and use it today. Send a text, say it to a colleague, write it in your journal.
Don't just list it, live it. You have to use it to own it.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you next time.